Hi everyone, I am Valentin and I work on Nix. I want to make it better and I want to make it easier for anyone to do the same. And because I think that everything in computing revolves around knowledge transfer really, so that it's learning and teaching, I'm focusing so much on documentation. Many people find it easier to learn if they just observe how things are done, so I thought I'd just show how I work on Nix and see what happens. The process is really quite simple in principle, but there are many tiny details that you just have to kind of know. And while I'm also working on making that more explicit and discoverable, because there are so many things, that just takes time. So if you want to help out in the meantime, this video is for you. And it probably will get out of date pretty quickly. So if you're watching this a year from now, lots of things may not be true anymore. But that's fine. It's supposed to be throwaway, easy to make for me, easy to watch for you. So we can go faster with what should last, and that's the code. So let's start. My primary focus at the moment is the Nix reference manual, and recently we added a proper overview of all the versions that are relevant for the different releases of Nix packages in NixOS, as well as the latest release of Nix and the currently most up-to-date build of the Nix manual. And this is what we will look at to see what we can work on and how to do that. And we have a section at the very bottom of this list, which is contributing to documentation. And let's see how that is done. In general, if you want to know what could be done about documentation, here's a list of open issues that concern documentation, which you can go through and check what's relevant for you or interesting or maybe easy to do. But before we start, we actually have to figure out how to produce the manual to begin with. Here are instructions to just build it as is. But if you want to work on it incrementally, we actually have to enter the development shell first. And I always forget how to do this. This is why I look at this page every once in a while. So we already have the repository cloned here. We're on master. I will pull master because I tend to get out of date. And then we'll just follow with what to do. And while I'm scrolling through it, I'll just notice that this section has been recently added and it was put in between these two instructions for building Nix with the new CLI and the classic CLI. And a change that I will probably make later on is moving this section somewhere down there. So let's just do what this one says and get into the Nix shell. And just do what it says. Type auto recon face. Probably have it in my history. And just do this. And we're not actually running make because what we care about is documentation. We want to run make manual HTML. But unfortunately, due to how Nix is built internally and how documentation is produced from that, we will have to compile a lot of Nix just to see the manual. Now, as you see, this takes forever. And while scrolling idly through this collection of instructions and guidance, I found that there's actually a typo in highlight syntax definitions, which we will fix as a first step to show how changes to the manual can be done. So in a new tab, we'll jump right into that file, which is around contributing documentation, and just jump to that typo, fix it, and yeah, on a new branch, make a commit. First, of course, we check that this is exactly the thing that we want to do. And we don't really need to build the entire manual for this, but when we want to show a larger change, make sure that it actually works, I will of course build it in full. But for now, we just make a pull request from right here. And what I like to do is I have this little line here in my history. I push a new branch to my fork and then make a pull request from the command line using hub, which if you only have one commit will automatically fill the PR description with the commit message. And because there's really nothing to say about it, it's just a typo, I'll delete all the boilerplate here. And when I right quit, it will open